to talk to you about today about can't versus won't or don't want to. Because so often we say things like, oh, I can't do that. And we're really bad at saying, I can't afford to. When what we really mean is, I don't want to. It's perfectly okay to say, I don't want to. Or I have something else to spend my money on. It's okay to do that. And we've all seen this. We've all done it. We've all been, I don't know, maybe at some sort of jewelry party or home decor party or something where we went, oh, I can't afford that. When what we really, and then the next week we go out and buy something bigger. I used to do network marketing. And I remember clients would say, I can't afford that. And then the next week they'd be posting they bought, two new Brighton purses or two new Dunny and Burke purses, or they went out and bought a new motorhome or a new car. Well, apparently they could have afforded what I was selling. They didn't want to buy it because, and maybe it was because they had money earmarked for something else, or they had it, they were focused on purchasing and making this bigger purchase in the next week, and they knew they were going to do it. In the case of the car or the motorhome, they usually knew it. In the case of the purses, they may not have known it. So, it's a little bit of both. And so it wasn't that they couldn't afford what I was selling, what was going on in the net or going on in the network marketing party. It's they chose not to. Perfectly good excuse, because it's, first of all, it's not an excuse, it's a truth. The I can't afford was the excuse to say, it's just not something I'm interested in right now. That's perfectly legitimate. And people will respect you more. Now, if you get a pushy salesman who says, well, why aren't you interested in it? Then you just look at him and say, because I'm not. Be strong. Because especially with women, they think they can push us into something that we don't want. And frequently they have. So we have to be able to, when we get a salesman at our door or whatever, tell them, I'm not interested. Now, if you want to make up an excuse to save face, that's okay. Just don't make it I can't afford. One of my favorites lately? One of my favorites lately when somebody knocks on my door for something is I open the door and I step back and I go, I've been exposed to COVID recently. And honestly, I said it the other day and it was true. I had been exposed to COVID and I had to kind of quarantine myself from everything and make sure that, I wasn't exposing anybody else. And I realized when I said it the other day, he backed up about 5 feet. He didn't leave. He didn't leave, but he did back up. And I was like, that's a great thing to say to people because they back away. And it makes their pushiness, especially with male salesmen, it makes that so much lighter when there's 15 feet between you. Because at that point, I could have easily just closed the door because he was 15 feet away. Now, actually, what happened though is whenever I said I've been exposed to COVID, which as I said was true, he went into a conversation about having had COVID. So of course the conversation did continue. I didn't want to close the door on somebody telling me how sick he'd been. But his sales pitch lightened so much. Because for one thing, I think they know that, this isn't the right time to try to sell you something. He left his card and he kind of put it down outside. So I'm going to leave this here. If you want to call me, call me. That's fine. That's fine. But I didn't say I can't talk to you. I didn't say I didn't say I can't afford what you're selling. I didn't even know what he was selling from the beginning. Like I said, I had been exposed to COVID. So I simply said, I've been exposed to COVID. Because so often they want to come in or they want to stand there and talk to you right at the door. And like I said, I had been exposed to COVID, but I thought during it, I was like, this is a great reason. This is always good. Or, because we probably are exposed to COVID every day and we just don't even know it. If you're out and about, it's very possible you're being exposed. So, or you can simply say, I was near some people who were sneezing and I don't know what it was, so you might want to stay back. Again, perfectly legitimate. Now, as you do that, you're going to grow in strength, and then it will become, you'll be able to easily say, I'm not interested. They come to you selling, solar power. I'm not interested. And then, yeah, they may ask questions like, oh, you like paying your electric bill? And you simply say, well, it's not that big, so it's fine with me. Thank you. Have a nice day. And, it's not a rude thing. It's a simple move along. I don't want to think of it as, I'm not interested. I don't want to waste your time. Go find somebody else who is interested. You're allowing them by telling them that you're not interested. You are giving them permission to go talk to somebody else who might be. So you're giving them permission to go on and be successful with another potential client because you're not. So it's perfectly okay to say, I'm not interested. I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. Instead of I can't. Because I can't means I'm not capable. That's what can't means. I am not, it means not capable. So when you're saying I can't afford, you're telling your subconscious, I'm not capable of affording this. I get lots of calls from people wanting money from me. Every charity in the world obviously has my phone number. I don't answer 90% of them because if I don't know who's calling, I don't answer it. When I do know who's calling, I'll answer it. And if it's a charity that I have given to in the past, but I'm not giving to right now this month, because I tend to donate to some of the same charities every month. And then other ones I donate to periodically. But I plan that at the beginning of the month. So if they're calling me in the middle of the month, my answer is, I'm sorry, I've already allocated all my charitable donations for the month. Actually, I take that back. I take that back. I don't even say I'm sorry. I just say, I've allocated all my charitable donations for the month. And that's true. I have. I've allocated them already. I can put them on my list, and I'll say that. I'll put you on my list so that, when you mail me something next time, I'll hang on to it and I'll make a donation. But I don't donate to everything. You cannot donate to everything. And this is a cannot. Most people cannot donate to every charity that calls us because like I said, I don't know about you, but I get about 30 a month. I mean, almost every day, that the mail delivers, and they deliver 6 times a week. So out of 4 weeks, that's 24 times during a month. So maybe I only get 24, 25. I get something in the mail asking for money. Plus I get phone calls. So it probably is 30 because I get phone calls too asking for money. So most people cannot do that. So, but I want you to notice the difference between when you're saying can't, when you really mean I don't want to. So the first thing for this week, I just want you to start noticing it. Notice when you say I can't, when you really meant I just don't want to do that. And just take mental note and say to yourself later, I said I can't earlier and I could have, I just didn't want to. Let your brain know that you have recognized that. It doesn't matter if it's the next day, 2 days later, as you're thinking back about the days, or it just pops back in your head for some reason. And just notice it. So I want you to notice that and tell me in the comments how many times you noticed that this week, or even tell me a time that you've noticed that you've done it recently in the past that you've said, I can't do something when you really could have. You just chose not to for whatever reason. The reason might be that you're saving money. The reason might be that you don't want to put it on your credit card. Because if you've got a credit card, you could have afforded it. You just didn't want to put it on a credit card. So maybe that's the reason. So put that in the comments and I will talk to you soon. But I do want you to know I am doing an event in Six Figure Marketing. I can never remember the full name of this group. So I'm posting a link to it so that you can join the event if you want to and mark it going. Even if you cannot make it or you don't make it, then you'll still be able to get the notifications to be able to watch the replays. So, because I will make replays, I'm going to go live once about 3 o'clock that afternoon, which is next Thursday, but I'm going to be posting in that group all day long. And I would love, 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 love for you to support it. And so that more people in that group can see it. And maybe they'll come over here and join us and, be able to share some knowledge and, share their energy, because that's what we want to do. Share the energy, share the knowledge, so we can create a global society of wealthy women, because when good women have money, we make the world better for everyone. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.